Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. Now you might say, that's great. When's the marathon? I don't know. The marathon timing is dependent on you. It depends on when we hit 50 goals of support, but it also depends on scheduling. For example, I said I'm here for 7 days straight. So that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay? Typically, marathons do much better when I do them on weekends. Why? Because a lot of people have either school or work off on weekends. You have more time to plan for it ahead of time, stuff like that. In this case, because of the timing, okay, unless we get an incredible amount of support, all right, so we're talking, I would have to hit 9 more goals between now and like Sunday, right? If we get 9 more goals between now and Sunday, then yeah, we could do the marathon on Sunday. And that's like, for me, my opinion is that would be perfect timing. Sunday would be the perfect day because more people would be here, food, booze, variety of games. It would be a great, positive, festive vibe to start the month of May. But I don't think we're going to hit 9 goals between now and Sunday. I mean, we would have to have a massive rallying. And the thing is, this week actually has been on the slower side. For example, this week, we have less than 30 gifted subs over on Kick, which is insanely slow for me. Usually I have way more than that. So because of that, I don't see that real momentum happening. All right. So realistically, I'm thinking that I probably will be hitting the goal maybe around the middle of next week. I mean, that's if you say, let's say I hit every goal, 1 a stream. There'll be 2 today, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday, 2 Monday. We'd probably hit it around Tuesday. But that's assuming we hit a goal every single stream, which doesn't happen. Then again, sometimes we hit multiple goals a stream, and that's not predictable. Like, you just don't know, right? So all that being said, let's see what happens. It's this simple. The more you support, the more goals hit, the sooner the marathon happens. I would love to do it on the weekend, but it would take probably a miracle for that to happen. You'd probably have to have one or several very generous individuals to come by and support, whether it's Kick, YouTube, or a tip or whatever. We'd have to have a giant amount of support. And I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see what happens. You know, never say never, because every time that I say something like that, all of a sudden people shock me. And, you know, quite frankly, this whole last 8-9 months has been amazing. It's life-changing. Now I have a much better setup. We have flexibility to do whatever we need to do on any stream, whether it's a PC game, a console game, no matter how much it costs, what the availability is. You know, I've been able to spend some more time with my wife, which has been great. I'm looking forward to the next couple of days where I get to spend time with her, which I don't normally get to do. And it's been amazing. So I never would have told you that this would have happened in the last 9 months. I never would have guessed. Okay. And it has. So like I said, never say never. Let's see what happens over the next several days. But this would be a good time to get started. For example, last night on the Blueprint stream, support was incredibly slow. But I think that's a symptom of, number one, Blueprint's now being a night stream when normally it was a day stream. And number two, the fact of the kind of game that it is. You'll every once in a while get someone who really likes that kind of game coming by, but it's not going to be consistent, right? So let's get back on track today. You guys have really liked Expedition 33. Me too. I love Expedition 33. I think it's an outstanding, original, fun game. I can't wait to play it today. All right. So let's get it going. Let's stick around after this podcast to enjoy the game. And also, let's get some support rolling if we can. Let's see if we can hit some of these goals and get to this marathon, right? Cheers. Awesome. 1 second. So I'm just going to say, anonymous $10 tipper who started tipping today. Thank you for the support. This is great because we want to build momentum. You know, last night we didn't hit a goal. We definitely want to start hitting goals every stream now so we can do the marathon ASAP. So thank you for that. Beaver Bother to the $1.50. He says, I don't understand. If people receive memberships, what make them fake? All right. He's bringing this up because, once again, this is 2 days in a row. Someone is using the VPN exploit on YouTube to mass purchase memberships. If you don't know what this is something that's been going on YouTube for something like 4 years now, and YouTube never has fixed it. They got upset because they found out that people were buying YouTube premium subscriptions this way, but they haven't fixed the problem. Here's what it is. YouTube, unlike other sites, like other websites don't do this at all, but YouTube has this bizarre pricing structure. They look at the country you live in based on your IP address when you log into YouTube, and then they price things how they feel as appropriate for your country. So, for example, if you live in Argentina right now, your dollar is worth like nothing. Seriously, the Argentinian dollar has like terrible value, okay? But the people who live in Argentina don't make a lot of money. It's not like, oh, our dollar's worth nothing, so when we get paid $1 million a paycheck. So basically, the Argentinian economy and people are not doing very well, all right? Because of this, YouTube prices things differently for people in Argentina. So, for example, if someone in Argentina were to buy a membership to a YouTuber, it would only cost a few pennies. Seriously. As opposed to anyone else who was going to buy it, they'd have to pay like $5. But for Argentinians, it's like 2 pennies. Okay? So you might say, well, that's good because if you live in Argentina, now you can actually afford stuff, right? The problem is people have been massively abusing this for years. What they do is they use a VPN. They pretend like they're from another country. They log in as if they're from the other country with this new account, and then they'll dump massive amounts of memberships onto the viewers of someone. And the reason that this is a problem is simple. YouTube only allows 1 membership per person. Okay? On Kick, this isn't a problem. Do you want to know why? Because on Kick, unlimited memberships per person, unlimited subs per person. There's people on Kick who right now have 3 months of subs built up. Kick is crazy like that. They'll just let you keep having ongoing subscriptions and it keeps stacking. But on YouTube, you can only have 1 at a time. Now, if you are a ginormous content creator on YouTube and you get tens of thousands of viewers a day, it's probably not a big deal. But if you're a mid to small time YouTuber, if people are coming to your channel and just dumping and dumping and dumping nearly valueless memberships on your channel, what ends up happening is now you can't get valid memberships. If someone, let's say someone dumps 1,000 fake memberships on a channel and the channel only gets a few viewers a day, like 10, 20 viewers a day. Well, now let's say someone actually wanted to support your channel and tries to get you a gifted membership. There's no one to give it to. They've divvied out all of them and it just sits there and never gets assigned. And therefore it never goes through and the person actually gets refunded. This has happened to me a couple of times over the years where someone gave so many fake memberships out that my channel had something like 3,000 paid memberships, out of which I only got actually paid for like 400. So there was like 2,600 fake memberships that I got paid like $5 for overall amongst all of them. Okay? And that just sucks. It does. It hurts a channel. Luckily for me, I no longer have all my eggs in one basket because I'm streaming on YouTube and on Kick. If someone does happen to screw over my YouTube side there with the memberships, people on Kick supporting kind of make up for it. It's not that big of a deal. But at one point a couple of years ago, it actually did. I took a big financial hit because of it. People were gifting so many fake memberships that, I wasn't having anyone buy real ones. That's the other thing. If everyone has a gifted membership, no one's ever going to buy a real one. And each one should have been a few bucks. So now you get nothing, right? It's all gone. So anyway, you may have noticed this morning, this idiot came by and gifted a bunch of them. I banned them. They did it yesterday. I banned them. There's nothing you can really do because YouTube has to fix it. This is not anything that can be fixed by a streamer. It has to be fixed by YouTube. And we all know YouTube is one of the most lazy, slow-moving, bad timing to react to anything businesses ever created. You can literally step-by-step explain to them how things are being exploited, and they just ignore it. I actually did 2 years ago. I was step-by-step explaining this to YouTube customer support. They don't care. They were just like, oh, well, like, don't you understand that you could put mid to small-time YouTubers like out of business? They can't get legit memberships. Well, oh, well, they don't care. We'll submit this to our team for review and consideration. That's all they say. And then nothing ever changes. They don't give a shit. So it's not a big deal, quite frankly. The most annoying part about it is that the channel gets spammed with pop-ups that really aren't beneficial. You don't need to see the 50 people got valueless memberships, right? It's not like you're celebrating because someone just massively supported the stream. It didn't happen. You know, you made a few, like, no exaggeration, for the 50 gifted subs when they dropped that, that's like $1. So, woohoo. Now, if you get one of those gifted memberships, good for you. You still got it. You still get the benefits of it, but it doesn't benefit me as a streamer. You see? So I hope that explains it. Every once in a while, someone asks the question again, and I explain the situation. I know it sucks because some people don't know about it. And then when they see it happen, they're getting excited. Like, oh my God, look at all the support Bill just got. I'm like, nope, none of it counts. It's just nonsense. It's just stupidity. These people, you know, abusing this. So anyway. All right. Well, that's that. It's not a big deal. If it happens again on the stream, I'll just take care of it quick. It's not the end of the world. It's just an annoyance at this point. You know, at one point it was freaking me out years ago, but not really, don't really care anymore. Been there, done that 5,000 times. Okay. So thank you for the first couple of tips there. Let's get some more support going. Who's going to be the first super chatter of the day? Who's going to be the first member or gifted member of the day? And over on Kick, I'm looking at all of you. Who is going to gift the first sub of the day? Because we need some subs over on Kick. We really do. It's been a slow week. Like I said, we have less than 30 gifted subs on Kick, and that's crazy. Usually on Kick, we get tons, and there's been almost none, you know, this week. So let's get some subs over on Kick and get that momentum going, okay? So pretty awesome, and I'm excited for it next time we play. But the problem is people are not supporting Blueprints. Last night, during that stream, we had maybe 2 people who did super chats, like 1 tip. By the end of the night, basically, I made $40. And I'm like, damn, that's, you know, obviously a far, far cry from hitting our goals. Now, the good news is it's Blueprints has done well up to now. And I love the game. It's not a game that I want to drop. It's not. I actually like it so much that I want to continue playing it, and I will this week. But I do hope that people will be aware, all right? And hopefully people will come by and start hanging out and show up and support that stream. If not, let's say you're someone who watches Blueprints on demand after the fact, please consider supporting it in another way. A super thanks on the video helps a lot and lets me know you're still enjoying it and want to support it. Or you could come by on a different stream whenever you can make it. If you contribute, be sure to say, hey, FYI, this is my support for Blueprints because I like the game, just that I couldn't make the night stream. You know, I understand that Blueprints was many day streams, and then I had to turn it into night streams when more new games came out. Excuse me. That's what usually happens. You know, when we play games like that are ongoing and lengthy, and, you know, eventually they have to become late night streams. But please, let's get some support going for Blueprints. I like the game. We're so far into the game as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are something like, if you do the math, I think we're like 16 to 18 hours in, even though we're only 12 parts in. Some of those parts have been quite lengthy. Like last night, that part was like, I believe it was like an hour and 20, 30 minutes. So please support Blueprints moving forward, especially when I bring it back next week. I'm craving it. Like right now, if I could play it, I would be happy playing it because I like it that much. I want to play it, but I got to keep the variety going, right? Okay. This is hilarious. So here I am, I'm sitting here, I'm talking about all these topics, okay? Interesting topics, things about the schedule. The viewers on Kick are saying, your undershirt is too long. I'm talking about how the month went, talking about the awesome games I'll be playing and the games I'm playing now, planning for an awesome marathon. This is what you're thinking about. This is your major focus in life right now, is the length of my undershirt. Do you think maybe there might be something wrong? Do you think perhaps that's not normal human behavior? That you're so obsessed with my undershirt that I'm wearing on the stream? You think perhaps that could be something? There's a word for that. Perhaps there's like a diagnosis for that kind of behavior that maybe would be accurate to describe it, and that perhaps you know, when you hyperfixate on something that's completely pointless and meaningless and trite, but you just can't stop hyper focusing on it for some weird reason, it's the most important thing to the world to you, even when it's not the focus point of attention and no one else is talking about it, but you just can't help but hyperfixate on something so inconspicuously unimportant in the world. Do you know what I'm talking about? You think there might be a name for something like that? Do you think we can figure it out? Anyway. I am fine with my clothes. In fact, they're very comfy. This is a bamboo shirt. Yes, this is a shirt made mostly from bamboo fibers, which makes it incredibly stretchy, but also incredibly cooling. It's like a wicking shirt. It wicks moisture, but also it just keeps you cool. It's very aerated undershirt. I really like it. This shirt I used to wear buttoned. The reason that I'm not going to wear it buttoned anymore is because it's got this, it was mismanufactured basically. This right here is supposed to fold over, so when the shirt's buttoned, it looks good. But look what happens. It just flaps over, and you can't actually get it to not do that. They mismanufactured it. The button actually should have either been lower, or that shouldn't have been that long. So basically, whenever I tried to wear this shirt and I would button it, it would look bad because this thing would be flapping over like that, and I can't stop it. You see? So I said, well, I'll just wear it with an undershirt then, right? That's as much thought as I gave to it. It's kind of annoying. It won't button right. I'll just put an undershirt on then. That's fine. Oh no, we're going to hyper fixate on Phil wearing an undershirt and talk about his undershirt being too long. How about stop being fucking obsessive and weird and focusing on nonsense that doesn't matter? No one should care about this. Why are we even talking about it? Anyway, let's continue logically, shall we? Thank you very much. Oh, I've tried everything. Every Roy says, did you try ironing the flap down? I tried ironing the shirt. I tried steaming the shirt. I tried, some streams, I put a freaking paper clip on the shirt to try to hold it in place. I'm just, it's too much effort for a stupid shirt. I like the shirt, but it's too much effort for a shirt that I'm wearing on a gamer stream. I'm not some kind of a fucking fashion model coming out here. I'm not on Hollywood. I don't have 5,000 paparazzi who are filming me to put me on the front page of Vogue. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be in a tabloid today. I don't care. So I said, enough of this annoying thing. I'm just going to wear an undershirt on it. I don't give a shit. Okay? But no, I really didn't expect that we would have very, very hyper-focused people over on Kick talking about the length of my undershirt. Ridiculous. There you go. Flatman B says, I'm very concerned that one of your collar edges may not be symmetrical. Well, stop the stream, stop the podcast, stop the world from spinning. We've got to solve this problem. It's the biggest priority of everyone's life right now, right? All right, well, that's pretty much what I got for today's show, all right? So first of all, thank you to those who have done early support. I appreciate you. Let's get some more going, like I said. Let's get our first sub. First of all, our first sub on Kick. We don't have a sub on Kick today. We need to get some momentum going. Let's get our first sub over on Kick. Outside of that, anything appreciated. Please, let's get some support today. We need to hit the goal on this stream to get momentum going towards the marathon. Again, the sooner the better. I would love to do the marathon this coming week. Notably as early as possible, maybe during the weekend. That would be great if we could. So let's get it going. And then, of course, please stick around because after the stream, I should say the podcast, it's time for more Expedition 33. And today is major story development in the game. That's what we're focusing on is story. Okay, so I hope you'll stick around for the story stuff. Very nice. Now, that's amazing. Who's going to match that? Who's going to match those 5 gifted subs with 5 more? So that way we can keep that momentum rolling, right? There we go. Okay. me just take a look quickly at this. People are tipping $1 and $2 to say ridiculous things. All right. I'm not going to entertain the nonsense. I've already told you guys this, right? So, please understand that. Because it looks like we just got $3 in tips, but it's stuff that I'm just not going to address on stream. All right. So thanks for the tips. I'm not answering ridiculous questions. I'm not going on dramatic tangents. Okay. None of this. Okay. And now we got some fake gifted memberships. Let me just get rid of those quickly. There we go. Done. Just like that. Boom. Okay, good. A few will pop up, but they should stop popping up in just a second. I would expect that this will keep happening over and over the course of the day. Sylvester Stallone, to address this, if you guys, I'm just going to say this. You guys know, you well know the level of harassment that I get, and you know that I can't talk about stuff that I do outside of this room or on broadcast until it's after the fact, right? So if you hey, Phil, can you tell us all about what you're going to be doing on your days off for the next 2 days already? I have an answer for you. No, I can't tell you about anything I'm going to be doing on my days off for the next couple of days, especially not specifics. Why? Because if I did, weirdo, brainless fucks would probably try to screw with me. I can tell you about what I did on my days off when I come back, but I can't tell you about them ahead of time. So I want you to understand it's nothing personal, right? At all. I hope that Sylvester Stallone understands that. This is not something personal. I'm not trying to blow you off. I'm not trying to insult you or call you a jerk. I actually appreciate your interest in me and my private life and what I do. I just can't safely tell you anything. Let me tell you this. I actually do have quite a few things lined up for the days off because I couldn't, there's certain things you just can't do on like weekends. Even though you try really hard, it just doesn't work out. Okay. So, I had to take this different time off than usual to do certain things. But I certainly can't tell you. I can tell you later. All right. Exactly. It's oversharing. And when you overshare, especially when you overshare ahead of time and stuff, people try to mess with your life. And, there's nothing you can really do. You got to be careful. I've learned to be careful about this stuff. Okay. So we've covered all the topics that I would like to cover. By the way, again, these are more bunk gifted memberships. So congrats to anyone who's getting them, but sadly, they don't benefit me. Thanks for the early support as well. Let's see what you guys want to talk about. Tag me in chat and let's have some conversation. We got about half an hour to shoot the shit before I get into Expedition 33. I'm not canceling members. There's no way to cancel a membership. Once it's gifted, it's gifted. I'm trying to stop these pop-ups from bombarding the stream that aren't legit because these are, this is, when you see a pop-up on stream, this is supposed to be a celebration of someone who came, said, hey, I want to really support your content. And that's what the pop-up's supposed to be for, giving people credit for their support. It's not supposed to be someone changed their IP address to say they're from Argentina and spent $1 to buy 7,000 fake memberships because they're completely stupid, Thank you for that momentum. Let's keep that momentum going. Let's hit $100 by the end of the podcast. So that way there's only, not that much pressure when we get to Expedition 33. Maybe we can double it up and hit 2 goals today to make up for last night. That would be great. Let's see what happens. So by the way, for the record, it looks like I received a generous contribution, but it got frozen by PayPal. So I want to see quickly if I can actually log into my PayPal and if I can actually see this contribution, because I think I know who it's from based on the email address. And if it is from them, I actually do trust them and I'm going to count it. Give me a second. So here it is. Can I see it? Okay, so I received a $50 tip. I can see it. It got put on hold, and I don't know why. But this person has contributed to me many times in the past, so I trust them. All of their payments up to now have cleared. I don't know why this one didn't. Let me see what they have to say. Hey, Phil, I'm very sad to see an end to Disco Elysium, but I completely understand. I hope you continue to play other indie games like Blueprints, another excellent stream. I love your work, and thanks again. So there you go. Yeah, I know. This person was one of the people who had been consistently supporting Disco Elysium. Consistently, like they were there for almost every stream, and they were consistently supporting it. So it sucks they couldn't make it to this last one, and we ended up not even doing $50 on the stream. And like I said, no one had showed up. Everyone on the stream was complaining, saying, "Hey, stop playing this game," and that's why we made the decision to stop playing it. Okay, but I agree with them. Like, I like these indie style games. I think they're different. I think that they're refreshing. I like playing them. And that's why it's sad when I see less and less people showing up for them, less people engaging, less people supporting them. I do feel like these indie games should get more attention and more support on a streamer like me and my stuff. I just don't get why people won't show up for them. So anyway, 100%, I agree with you. Thank you for a $50 tip. Even though they put it on hold, I'm going to count it because, like I said, this particular person has contributed tons of times before, via streams like Disco Elysium. So I know this is going to clear. I have absolutely no idea why PayPal put it on hold today, but I know it's going to clear. So thank you so much. That's a $50 anonymous tip. And that means we're up to 105 and climbing. Thank you guys so very much for that. And let's keep it going. How about this? Now let's hit the goal by the end of the podcast. That way we could just focus on the game, and we can maybe hit a second goal while I'm playing Expedition 33 to make up for last night's Blueprint stream. Okay? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get some more support. Let's get some more subs over on Kick. Besides CJ over there, let's get some more. All right, Sylvester Stallone, enjoy your ban. I've had enough. Seriously, you're just a fucking idiot. You're just a fucking mouth-drooling dunce, and I've had enough of your idiocy. So goodbye, and don't come back. Keep your dollars. Yeah, you guys can cut the shit on Kick. Sylvester Stallone, literally on this podcast, first he's asking me for things I'm going to do on my day off, which he knows I can't talk about. Then he's saying, "Oh, did you hear about this thing that could personally hurt Phil?" And by him talking about it, what he's trying to do is get attention for it, which then if it actually could hurt streamers, would hurt streamers. So why would he do that? He's an asshole. He's doing it on purpose. He's literally bringing up every negative thing. So no, he doesn't get forgiveness. He doesn't get his butt kissed. I don't care how many fucking stupid emotes you guys use in chat. He's an asshole. By the way, it's a sock account. If you don't know. We got a LARPer. I got a $5 super chat from a LARPer. Hilarious. Well, thanks, LARPer, for $5. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not even going to read the message because it's stupid. It actually is. Why do people make sock accounts? Well, there's two reasons. Okay, there's two reasons to make a sock account for a stream like mine. Reason number one is that you're a legit supporter. You're someone who actually likes my content, but you're well aware that people who support me in big ways, like let's say dropping a big member bomb or a big tip, that people tend to kind of come after them and harass them because people are weird on the internet and just obsessed with the fact that I'm successful while they're not, and they're miserable and I'm happy. They can't stand that. So they try to harass people who support me, you see? So by using a sock account to do anonymous donations, like an anonymous tip or dropping 50 subs on Kick, but it's a name no one ever saw before, it protects your identity. No one knows who to associate that with, and who cares if they go harass that account? It's a dummy account they're never using for anything anyway. The other reason to use a sock account is because you're someone who already has been in a chat and banned a bunch of times for acting like an asshole, but you still want to keep coming in acting like an asshole. And a lot of the times these people conjugate with others who are assholes, right? I should say congregate, not conjugate. They congregate with others who are assholes on places like Discord, which is apparently the more and more I learn about Discord, the more I'm like appalled that people use Discord as this like degenerate community of people who are just fucked in the head doing disgusting things. I can't believe some of the things I hear now. So yeah, they sit there in their online communities on Discord, laughing, joking, memeing, disgusting behavior because it's all toxic, negative internet bullying stuff. And then they talk about topics, say, oh, you got to go do this, say this in the stream and do this. And because they're on a sock account, they think that no one knows that it's them. They think that, oh, it's, they'll never figure it out who I am because it's a new account or a sock account, right? Anyway, Zangief says, yeah, after I gifted you last week, people kept following me on Kick and harassing me, but it's not my main account, so I don't care. That's what I mean. That I would strongly recommend anyone who's actually going to support me in some way, you should not have any public-facing account that has real information about you. You should protect your identity online. You should always do that. Like, just in general, everyone should be doing that anyway. But notably, when you're doing anything positive towards me, understand that there are actually mentally ill people who stalk me and my followers and my viewers and stuff like that, right? So, yeah, it's just a good strategy. Don't open yourself up to online stalking and harassment by using accounts. Like, for example, if you have an active YouTube channel that you use all the time for stuff, never use that channel to contribute to me. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to tip, never tip with your real name. Never tip with an account that's another account online that you want to use, right? Never do that. Make up new names, make up new things, because that's the way to protect your identity. It's just the best way to go about things with these nut jobs on the internet. The Blim says, as you know, I used to be on YouTube. You also know that I used to send in tips and things like that. I literally had to leave YouTube. My email was linked to an Xbox account, and I had someone email a dude I worked with. Absolute insanity. Think about that. Because someone contributed to me with a YouTube account associated with it. Someone data mined it to the point where they were emailing, harassing people around them. They have nothing to do with anything. But do you see how crazy that is? And that's how these people are. These people are actually insane. When people say to me, no, that's not true. Why would you say that? No, it is. People who are of sound mind do not act like that. Because people of sound mind realize this is the one life you get on planet Earth. You have a limited amount of time to breathe, to act, to live. You must make the best of the time you have on this planet because it's going to be gone someday. And that's just the human condition. So people who are mature enough to understand that realize, man, I got limited time. I got to use my time for good things, for fun things, for positive things, building others and myself up, making positive things for others. Now, I'm going to spend my entire day harassing, stalking, bringing down others around me. What good does that do? Now it takes away from your life experience, from others' life experiences to make people miserable. When you become a certain age and a certain level of intelligence and maturity, this epiphany happens. This switch flips in your head and you're like, God damn, I got limited time left. I got to make the best of it. The people who act like this, these online crazy harassers, are fucked up here. They're not of any mature level of thought. So to them, actually hurting people on the internet they don't know is a good and valid use of their time because they're just not mature. It's the brain of a pea up here. It's like a fucking, an infant. And some people, sadly, never get that light switch to flick on. They actually stay ignorant their whole lives. They don't get that epiphany level of, oh, shit, I should do something good for a change. And that's pretty sad, isn't it? Because I feel more and more people on this planet are never getting that moment of maturity and epiphany. Instead, it's just They stay in that really fucked up tunnel vision, almost cult-like way of thinking. And what meaning does their life have? Pretty sad, huh? Oh, the reason that I use the term LARPer is very simple. It means live action role player, but it's the perfect way to describe someone who is a troll or an internet messed up person who pretends to actually like me or anyone, but the only reason that they're actually there is to hurt the person or deride the person, right? So here's a perfect example of that. Someone claims that they're a supporter of mine, but then they sit in the chat, and when someone new comes in, they harass the newcomer with, hey, did you support today? Why aren't you supporting Phil? Why aren't you sending? Why would you do that? It's my job to say, hey, here's the ways to support my stream. Here's what you can do. By doing that, they're creating a hostile environment. So that person who's a newcomer will actually be like, whoa, I don't like this atmosphere. And they leave and never come back. They're actually trying to hurt me, not help me. And they do it on purpose. They know it's against the rules, but they do it anyway. That's a live action role player or LARPer, a pretend fan who's here only to try to hurt me or be a thorn in my side or actually try to give me a downfall when it's never really going to happen. But that's what they're doing. They're being disingenuous with their actual, way that they act and say things. Okay. Exactly, Cade. Say, when was the last time you donated? You want us to support? I've never seen you super chat. Why aren't you contributing? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Like, wait, what? Why would you do that to a newcomer? Because you actually want to piss them off or scare them off, and then they never come back. That's why. And that's what these LARPers are doing. It's time to end the show, everybody. Thanks for a great week. Thanks for a great month. I just want to end this saying it's been a great month. April in general was a really good streaming month. Okay. I had a great time with all of you. It didn't matter if we were just chilling, if we were building Legos, if we were during a crazy birthday marathon, if we were shooting people in Call of Duty, if we were beating people up in RPGs, right? If we were, all the stuff we did, talking about WrestleMania, and opening packs of cards, right? Like so many things we did over the course of this month, right? It was just a great month in general and an unexpectedly good month because, again, on paper, it didn't look like many games were coming out, but then we got shocking releases like Blueprints, Oblivion Remastered that ended up being really good, right? So thank you so much. And like I said, the way I see it is this. If on a month when there's pretty much nothing going on, things can be great, then imagine months coming up with big high-profile new releases, new consoles launching, right? Big events happening. I think we're going to have a great time together moving forward for the rest of this year. If anything, what we've seen is because I have the gaming PC, because I have the ability to get and afford anything, the setup, right? We have that flexibility to do whatever, and it's a much better feeling than when I used to be so confined to, I can only play on a certain console, I can only afford a certain thing. It's a very different feeling. It's a great feeling. Thank you for an amazing month. I'm very much looking forward to May. In May, there are several releases like Doom the Dark Ages, the new Capcom collection, among others, that I think are going to be very exciting, but also continuing on with the things we're doing and stuff like that. All good stuff. So thank you, guys. I'll see you in May. All right, guys, I'll be gone for a few. Enjoy these clips. When we come back, it's time for more Expedition 33. And I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. We're already 2/3 of the way to the goal. Let's hit that goal of this stream. Maybe an opportunity to do a double goal, make up for last night. We'll see. But thanks, guys. I'll see you in a few.
I got the drip going. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean, these dumb kids. This is what it is, it's dumb kids.